Hello everyone, this is Ellie of Herbcraft by Ellie Apothecary, here with a collective timeless tarot reading. You can also use it for your next week whenever you are tuning in. If you're interested in what playlist I am enjoying for this moment, go to my Spotify profile. The link is in the description box. Today I decided to put on Just Chillin'. This playlist is an epic 30-hour collection of songs. That's right, I said 30 hours. Anyways, I have a very laid-back way of doing tarot. I call them tarot quests because they tend to go long, and it is an adventure. And I tend to go soul deep. If the shuffling is too loud, take off headphones. Just getting into the zone here. The moon is in Aries today. I'm also a professional astrologer, and I do offer personal readings for tarot, astrology, and herbal consultations, along with curios. Got the Cosmic Tarot per usual. First card to come out is Ten of Wands in reverse and Judgment in reverse, along with the King of Pentacles. Spirit just wants to hop in, so let me just disclaim that I am an advocate and a spiritual guide, so there's a possibility that I could activate your soul. So if you're not interested in soul deep kind of readings or direct styles, I do it in a loving and kind way, but I do tell the truth always. Use your discernment. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. This is not medical, mental health, or financial advice. And I think you all know the rest. If you'd like to watch the shorter form version of this reading, I make clips of all my long form videos, and I always share them in the community tab in the comments section after I have edited them down to the side messages. Alright, we just pulled the Two of Cups in reverse as well. So I didn't do a pre-read. I am just going off the cuff per usual. Excuse me. Something wants to come up today. This is a general collective reading. I think I said that already. Gender in astrology is all about energy. It's not about particular people, but place it how it fits for you. Again, masculine is active, feminine is receptive, and we just pulled the Star card. I do try to call out every single card for you. That way you're not missing a thing, so fellow readers and people who like to learn about tarot will enjoy that. Six of Cups in reverse. Eight of Pentacles. The Fool. The Eight of Swords. Six of Wands in reverse. Okay, let me see here. Before we really get into this, I'm going to ask that everybody take a deep breath and allow me to chime my bell to cleanse and clear the energy. So ready? Deep breath in. And out. All right. I'm going to break this up a little before I get into the reading and pull some Cosmic Energy Oracle. Strength card. Blessing. And freedom. strength. Your inner strength is boundless. Unleash it. Blessing. Blessings are gifts from the universe. Receive and share them. Freedom. Freedom comes from inner liberation. And I know we've talked about that before. Freedom, inner liberation. And it's interesting. I pulled the Freedom card on top of the Eight of Swords card here. And Eight of Swords is about mental prisons that you can get yourself out of at any time if you can see it for what it is. And the Freedom card happens to be above the Two of Cups in reverse, so that's an end of a union of some sort. Now, when I speak on anything that might pertain to romance or love or unions or anything like that, I do try to keep it a higher octave for everyone. I don't get into karmic energies, and I do feel into the energy. I'm a psychic medium empath, so like I pick up on things outside of just the cards, and sometimes I'll read into that. So yeah, a union is like, it could be with ourselves, it could be with a soulmate, it could be with spirit. I'm also a non-denominational channel for spirit and also a channel on YouTube, but I have a pagan animist practice, so I do operate from that perspective, more mystical, just like my business says, from the mundane to the mystical. Someone's a little nervous about something. Someone's feeling a little sick to their stomach, so I'm picking up on some uneasy energy here, but that's okay. We're going to see if we can transmute this energy today, all right? I am a healer, and you know, feel free to like save these videos for later and check out my Divine With Me playlist if you're looking for more insight. Many of my readings tend to link together, so anyways, just feeling a little queasy all of a sudden, and I do pick up on projections, so somebody, ooh, wow, one moment please. Ooh, someone's real worried about something. And I don't like to tap into fear. If I bring up anything, it's to work through it, okay, everyone? So 10 of Wands, we know. And if I say we know or everything, it's because I tend to do readings for people who have knowledge about tarot. But if you don't, you're definitely welcome. And I hope that you really enjoy this. Anyways, I don't mean to exclude anybody. I just wanted to clarify that. Okay, I just had to transmute that energy. Wow. Yeah, someone's putting a burden down after an awakening. I do work with people who tend to go through spiritual journeys, so that's another reason we do tarot quests, because there's a lot to get into. Yeah, it's something about stability and wanting a higher level commitment, I think, here, because the Two of Cups in reverse, it could be to come into union with yourself. Possibly you've seen ways in the past that you've been carrying burdens that were not yours to carry, and you need to heal in order to be successful with the Star and the Six of Wands underneath. You've gained strength through your awakening, and you do have many blessings coming your way. And also putting down whatever this union was is giving you freedom. Yeah, Six of Cups in reverse. That's the end of nostalgia. It's also ending some kind of relationship from the past, or putting down things from the past so you can heal your inner child, especially with the Star card here. It's so you can work on a new journey, one where you're not stuck in your thoughts where they are being limiting to you, with the Eight of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Eight of Swords. You're working on continuing to build your strength. This new beginning is a blessing, and it does look like it is very stable, whatever that new beginning is for you. But you haven't quite freed yourself from the mental anguish of releasing whatever this union was. And again, it could have been some deep commitment. It doesn't have to be to a person. It could be something you used to identify with as a part of yourself, right? Something that didn't make you feel very successful or seen for who you really are inside. Go back to the Cosmic Tarot again. Pull some more cards. Three of Cups in reverse, Prince of Wands in the Chariot. Seems like in the past there have been others in your personal circle that you used to celebrate with, that you used to consider friends or family or soul family or whatever. Yeah, people you used to invest in with the Seven of Pentacles. You planted seeds here, you waited for things to grow, but with the Three of Cups in reverse, it's telling me that you no longer can celebrate with these people, whoever they are. You're no longer entangled with someone outside of something that was a union, because it's above the Six of Cups. Again, I have a very direct style and I try to keep it classy, but I just want to say that it's possible somebody or a few people in the collective have decided to stop investing in third-party relationships. And that could be anything. It doesn't have to just be love. It could be some kind of like moonlighting you did for work, some kind of creative projects that maybe didn't pan out for you. So Prince of Wands is like moving very quickly towards something on a quest. And it's somebody who's very confident, very sometimes brash. But yeah, you're definitely moving towards something else quickly here with the Chariot. And you feel in control of it despite any mental anguish that you may have had in the past. You know where your destiny lies. You know what you've overcome with your strength. And you know what doesn't give you balance with the Six of Swords in reverse. You are a little concerned that you won't have victory and success with whatever it is you're facing, because, and that's also 6-6, synchronistic number, with the Six of Wands in reverse and the Six of Swords in reverse. Yeah, the Moon in reverse. Something needs to come to the light. Some kind of secret needs to be revealed. And you're hoping that when you reveal this, when you come forward with this, whatever lack of success or balance you fear will actually correct itself. Wow. And it's for the Nine of Cups, for personal wish fulfillment. This is your hope, this is your dream, that what you are coming forward with the truth, that it's going to fulfill your dreams. Wow, the Lovers. You've already made this choice. And this is, this could be, again, union with yourself. There's a strong emphasis for some of you that this is about union with yourself, finding balance within yourself, figuring out what makes you successful, maybe in ways that you have sabotaged yourself in the past by not dealing with your emotions that have blocked your wishes. And for others of you, this is about a new soulmate love that you're moving towards, or reuniting with somebody that you've already been in partnership with. It is a deep soul love, and it's two aspects of one whole. It could be opposites attract. This could also be about bringing into union two different aspects of yourself that make you feel whole. And that's why you walked away from some kind of union, or for some of you, a third party situation. Again, this doesn't have to be about love, but it could be. Whatever it is, you're very passionate about this. Ace of Cups in reverse. So strong emphasis on some of you definitely not being ready to offer your cup of love, or feeling like you don't deserve love. Maybe this has to do with you haven't been able to fill your own cup, and whatever you're moving towards could fill that cup. Again, there's a lot of reversals here with the Six of Swords and Six of Wands and the Moon in reverse. All of these are like underneath and around the Nine of Cups, and the Chariot is moving towards it. You do believe this is going to liberate you somehow. Eight of Cups. Others of you are still very despondent, and even though you have walked away from something, you have a lot of remorse, a lot of regret. This is a journey. It is moving away from something to something different. You're headed towards your Nine of Cups, because we have the 8 and 9 cups here. We also have 8-8 now. So 88 or 8-8 could be a synchronicity. 8 of Swords and 8 of Cups. We also have the 8 of Pentacles over here, so we have 8-8-8. The number of abundance. So yeah, you feel like this Nine of Cups will give you great abundance. Whatever this wish fulfillment is that you've decided to leave the past behind and move towards. Excuse me. Whew. Well, the nausea's gone, so good job settling. You still, something wants to come up. There's a release that needs to happen here. And we pulled the Four of Wands card. That is a celebration. That is a foundation. That is a deeper commitment, some kind of contract. Could have to do with a home, a marriage, a celebration, a party, the foundation of your spiritual beliefs. Maybe whatever this is that you're moving towards, you do know that it has a strong foundation, which is why you're probably moving towards it. Huh. The Hierophant in reverse. For some of you, it is independence for yourself that you have wanted for a very long time. The last reading I did, I will link it at the end of this video along with my playlist. We did get the Hierophant in reverse, and there was an emphasis on, for some of you, ending unions, or some of you who are nonconformist and prefer an open lifestyle. I do talk about more open-minded things here on my channel. Ace of Wands in reverse. Wow. Yeah, some of you are completely repelled by the idea of marriage. Yeah, this is not what you want. So this, for some of you, this is about an independent journey for sure. Some of you might actually, maybe you have spent your whole life in a union, possibly right out of high school for some of you with the Six of Cups here in reverse. And maybe you never got to really sow your wild oats, so to speak. And I'm not encouraging anything. Hey, if you maturely end a relationship and move on, your business is your business. Yeah, Strength card. Wow. It's taken a lot of strength for some of you to regain this independence and pursue this quest. To walk away from what was no longer serving you, to find your true foundation, to go towards that which, I mean, there's a lot of unknown here. You don't know if whatever you're attracted to is going to be attracted to you. You don't know if what you're going towards is going to be a stronger commitment. Wow, Queen of Swords in reverse. In fact, some of you are downright terrified that somebody is going to be very vicious towards you, or unfair, or dishonest, or some of you may feel that way for whatever reason. Maybe somebody gaslit you a lot, and those terms, you know, they're very popular, but really what it comes down to is when somebody convinces you that your reality is not your reality. That's what being gaslit is. And yes, there is certain personality types that tend to do that. Again, not a medical or mental health professional, but I am an advocate. So some of you have walked away from, I'm just going to say, a verbally unkind relationship without using certain words that might ding me here on YouTube. And I just confirmed that with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, something that didn't make you feel very independent, something that really affected you deeply in your sense of self. And that's why you're headed out of there quick for some of you. Some of you are doing the right thing for you regardless of what other people think. Yeah, Five of Swords in reverse. You're getting out of sabotage. You're getting out of other people causing harm to your thoughts, which could explain the Eight of Swords energy here. You know, these kinds of effects that people can have on us can linger in our psyche, right? But it seems like you're moving away from that. For some of you need to, and you're trying to find the strength. You're trying to find the courage. I think for a lot of you, you already have. Yeah, Four of Cups in reverse. You're no longer dwelling and being bored and ungrateful. You're dumping out these previous emotional foundational beliefs that actually didn't serve you. With the Four of Pentacles, so now we have 4-4. That could be another synchronicity. Yeah, you're creating a sense of safety. Wow, and the Wheel of Fortune. This is a new karmic cycle. These are huge blessings coming in for having the bravery and courage. You are kind of holding on to some kind of stability here. So you do have some kind of platform materially. You have something that keeps you stable, that you can build off of. Possibly some of you, this has been about saving money and realizing that what you have is already enough for some of you. And this was the key to your fortune, so to speak. I'm not saying, you know, take it as it resonates, y'all. Like, and also I speak in multiple timelines, so this could be about past, present, or future for multiple people in the collective, right? And the collective is every single soul on this earth. A community is a subsection of that. So welcome to our community over here. Again, hi, I'm Ellie. I'm your guide. We're going to talk about this Wheel of Fortune. How, Spirit, let's get into some advice here. I feel like this has kind of been a slow-paced intro. Thank you if you are still hanging in there. Again, this is meant for people who enjoy to kick back. Yeah, Six of Pentacles. This is about equal give and take, reciprocity, balance in your stability. Feel free to leave a star in the comments if you're enjoying the reading so far. You have a way to build something here. We don't have the Five of Pentacles here, so it seems like you're not struggling with a lack. In fact, instead of there being a progression here of the 4, 5, 6 Pentacles, we have the 4 of Pentacles, and then the Wheel of Fortune, and then the 6 of Pentacles. So whatever you have saved here, salvaged, accomplished, plus 4, 4 equals 8, yet again the number of abundance, and we already have that here. It could take off into something that is really fair. Now, some people interpret the 6 of Pentacles as like somebody in a position of power, gifting something to somebody else, handing something out, being generous. Some other people would consider it, you know, it could be manipulative, it could be a power move, that it's like an imbalance of power, and it depends on the other cards. But I'm seeing here that this is a positive, equal give and take, whatever you're moving towards. And again, for some of you, it is independence and freedom. Some of you, it's healing. Some of you, it's a new union that's a higher love that you know you want to invest in. Some of you, it's your family, it's your values, it's your principles. It could just be a mental shift, a timeline shift. Oh, but for some of you, it's very strong that it is about love, because Prince of Cups just came out. Maybe you've been saving up your energy, your physical strength here, because we do have 4 Pentacles next to strength, in order to start this new cycle with the Wheel of Fortune. So you can give equal give and take, so you can give somebody your cup. Or to a creative project. You want to move towards something that makes you feel satisfied emotionally and happy, and you're very focused on it. This person has a very concentrated look on their face. Like they're looking far off into the future with this cup, and it's like they know what they have, they know what they want, and they know what they're going after. And they're on their way to kingdom. I just noticed the pocket on the person has a crown on it. Graduations. And then we get the Princess of Wands. So that would be the Page of Wands. The High Priestess reverse. You know that for some of you, this new journey is going to reveal some secrets, some hidden knowledge, which could be good. I mean, it could be about telling your truth, telling your story, being brave, overcoming, you know, unsatisfying, harmful relationships. Yeah, the Sun in reverse. Revealing secrets so you can shine your light. And this Princess of Wands, she, again, gender non-specific, I'm just reading the cards. She's on this new quest. She's on this new journey. I'm picking up some karmic energies. One moment. Just sprayed one of my shop cleansing mists. It's called Bless You. It's a natural herbal spray. But yeah. I cleanse myself thoroughly before coming into this reading. I suggest that you do the same. Wow. Okay. Queen of Pentacles just came out. With the Two of Pentacles, Five of Wands, and Ten of Cups. For some of you, this is about ultimate financial stability. and possibly starting a new spiritual quest or something very passionate that you believe could lead to your ultimate wish fulfillment with others. And you're fighting for it, but you're also juggling a lot of things. This makes you want to go back into hermit mode, but you're already on the journey. You're already moving towards something. It's already happening. Like, you do see things that other people don't see. You do shine a light on certain things. Princess of Cups in reverse. Maybe on ways that some block their own creative flow, revealing how possibly emotional intelligence is necessary to fight for a Ten of Cups situation, which is the everything. It's the happily ever after. Some of you have worked very hard on this new quest to become kind of this Queen of Pentacles figure. And now actually we do have a divine union here now. We have the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. And that is like the ultimate stable 3D married couple in the deck. And yeah, with the Three of Wands, this is something you've set intention on, and now you're waiting and watching to see how this manifests. This could be for some of you the new union with the King and Queen of Pentacles. Somebody you know you can grow with, you can build with, you can have a stable life with, you can enjoy the finer things in life, because Earth and Pentacles rule material. And I find it synchronistic that Money by Pink Floyd came on right when I started pulling all these money cards. So for some of you, it's not necessarily about love, but it is about maybe building a business with a partner, somebody who has similar. For some of you, it could be a spiritual business with the Princess of Wands, and there could also be a lot of competition in this field with the Five of Wands. King of Cups. Two of Swords in reverse. Some of you know where you want to give your love, and that could be creatively, it could be towards another person, it could be this new life path, this business. You want to pour your love into whatever you're passionate about, and you're done thinking about it. You know how to use your intuition. The blindfold is off. You're no longer blocking anything or trying to make up your mind. Like, you've already set the intention. You've already done the work. You've invested. You've saved. I think you're trying to still kind of balance yourself with the Two of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Star here. But you're moving. I want to know more about this King of Cups here. Wow. Queen of Wands in reverse. Okay. And the Hangman. For some of you, you have had a perspective on a past partnership. I do feel that this King of Cups is very much some of you. And you're looking at somebody you used to find very attractive, very magical, very mysterious, very bold, brave. You've had a perspective change on this person. And usually the court cards do represent people, so the kings, queens, pages, and knights, or princes and princesses. Depends on the deck style and what they're called. But yeah, Hangman is all about epiphanies, seeing things from different perspectives, taking a pause. It's like maybe you took a break away from whoever this Queen of Wands figure was to fight for what you wanted, to fight for your path, and it gave you the strength to keep on moving. Because all those positive things I said about the Queen of Wands, in reverse, that's the opposite. It's somebody who won't fight for you. It's somebody who's very selfish and prone to tantrums, quite frankly, who can just not be a delightful person, who loses their temper a lot. I mentioned that there's a lot of like I'm getting a lot of anger issues with this card for some of you. For others of you, it's just somebody that you used to have on a pedestal that you thought was super attractive, and now you're just not attracted to that kind of person anymore. Because Wands is, the Queen of Wands is the most attractive queen, next to the Empress, of course, who is all queens, and she's above the Queen of Wands, but you get my point. You've had a perspective on this kind of union, so for some of you, this is about that Two of Cups in reverse. And for some of you, it's about what you used to be attracted to. And now you embody this wise King of Cups energy where it's like you're more inward about your emotions, but you have them very deeply. And you know how to use your intellect with your emotional knowledge. You know how to stay regulated and balanced. I'll pull some more Cosmic Energy Oracle cards to get a little more information here. Harmony in reverse. I don't usually read oracles in reverse, but joy and release. Well, that pretty much says that. There wasn't harmony. You found your joy and you were able to release this. Good job. Good job for taking care of yourself. I mean, you did it in a loving way because you're the King of Cups here. Yeah, communication in reverse though. And again, I don't usually read these in reverse, but for some reason I'm feeling called to recognize that. Effective communication is the bridge to understanding and connection. Some of you have yet to express yourself to somebody, and there's something you need to release and heal in order to do that. And it has something to do with your sense of harmony. But whatever it is, it's going to bring you joy. So harmony card. Harmony is the beautiful melody in relationships. Joy. Joy is the dance of the soul. Enjoy every moment. Release. Release past burdens and embrace new beginnings. And you already did that. We have the Ten of Wands in reverse here, and we know you walked away from something, or you're going to. Again, this could be a near future reading for some of you where you've kind of been in this stuck Eight of Swords energy for a long time, and you're just looking for some kind of guidance on how to move forward, how to release, how to focus on joy. Yeah, and some of you really didn't want to talk about the past because my throat was closing up. So one moment. Drinking any tea today? Hey, you know, if you'd like to express one simple act of human kindness, you could give the like button a tap. It does actually help the channel grow. I also want to say, hey, shout out to my new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining the community. And thank you to everyone else who has contributed and, you know, spoken up and been also holding space for everybody who's quiet in the background. I appreciate every single one of you. We all have a position to play in life, right? And those positions can change based on life circumstance. I feel like I'm channeling a message from Spirit there. For some of you, you've chosen peace over trying to communicate with somebody from your past, and you're ready to release it. You're ready to embrace your joy. And again, if you're doing that in a safe, fair way, maybe you just need to figure out how to communicate better. All right, I'm going to move on to my Herbcrafters Tarot. And again, this has the plants on each card. If I feel called to mention them, I will. I have some other oracle cards I pulled to the side in case I decide to do a psychic read on any of them. And if I do, I'll probably create another video for that, so it'll be like the oracle for the week. Alright, so when I first split the deck, it was on the Two of Cups in reverse and the Star card again. So it seems that some of you want to advice more on how to heal from this past union. So let's ask Spirit. Alright, Spirit. I'm actually just going to clear all these cards off my table here. Oh, on a side note, for those of you that prefer my video form, I finally got myself a microphone, so the audio will be better, and as soon as I decide where I want to set up, I'll be doing another video reading soon. I know some of you actually enjoy the tarot ASMR, and I am able to get more messages out that way, so I do appreciate it. I still am not very tech savvy and haven't fixed the captions option, so I apologize for anybody who is in the ASL community who is enjoying reading along. I don't know, if anybody has any advice, I'd love to hear it. My channel's still pretty new and I'm figuring things out as I go along, and I'm doing most things in life on my own, so thank you for your patience and your kindness. I figure everything out eventually anyways, so it may just take me a minute. That's for somebody. Yeah, okay, so the High Priestess is the card I just pulled, and what a beautiful card this is. Along with the Adelita of Earth. Again, the Hayas are pages, Adelitas are knights, Madres are queens, and Curanderas are kings. So that's the Knight of Pentacles. I think stabilizing, for some of you, it's going to be about focusing on deeper knowledge. For some of you that are in the spiritual community, this is going to hit home. You know, focusing on expanding your psychic and intuitive gifts. Yeah, with the Page of Cups, that's transmuted energy. Earlier we had the Page of Cups in reverse, and some of you wanted to speak your voice about ways that people block their ability to create, right? I talk about how if you want to transmute energy, create. If you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you just, especially those of you that are going through the dark night of the soul portion of a spiritual awakening, you might feel kind of like that Four Cups energy. It feels like a lot of the part of the community I'm talking to today have been following along thus far, or are going to go back and check out the readings from this year, because we have had quite a spiritual quest this year through the tarot. And I feel like a lot of you were kind of in this complacent zone. Maybe some of you were just so burnt out from life experiences that you couldn't really focus on your spiritual intuitive side. And now some of you are finally getting a chance to. Some of you are moving towards maybe your new union is with spirit or your higher self. Again, the High Priestess can represent not only the guide, the seer, the highly psychic, intuitive person. It can represent the deep, the hidden, right? It's the card of Pisces. Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac, also represented by the Hanged Man and the moon in the tarot. So going deep into your more emotional nature, especially with the Page of Cups, revisiting, I think we talked about this a couple readings back, where revisiting things that used to creatively bring you happiness when you were a child, simple pleasures. This card here is ruled by chamomile, and chamomile not only helps calm you down and make you feel good, it also attracts happiness and abundance. And again, If you are setting intentions or you're manifesting, make sure that you state that you are bringing in positive abundance. And for those of you that have been following me for a while, you also know that you can transmute anything into positive abundance energetically. Wow, and then I pull the Hanged One in reverse, so the Hanged Man in reverse, which we were just talking about that being another Pisces card. Now, the dark side of Pisces is getting stuck in illusions, getting stuck in only dreamlike states, but not being a part of the actual physical motion, right? Because Pisces is water, Pisces is feeling, deep, emotional, sensitive, creative, expressive. And this card, it's like either you've had perspective changes about how you used to create or what used to bring you happiness as a child, and you're slowly working towards that. You're creating some kind of foundation, some kind of journey. You're slowly going towards either this new perspective or this new way of life. For some of you, you do need to experience a spiritual journey. I think we talked about that in the more fiery representation in the last reading, talking about how some of you might actually be pursuing actual spiritual quests and journeys with the King of Wands emphasis in the last reading. This is more of the sacred spiritual, and I mean that's a quest too, a spiritual journey in that way. That can be more of an adventure, you know what I'm saying? This is more about going inward. This is more about doing an inner quest, right? So going to the depths. And this is something you're slowly building and creating. Maybe some kind of spiritual practice where you can be in tune with yourself and nature. Interesting. Oh, wow. Okay. Woo! Oh, I just got chills. Oh my. Okay, I don't know if I want to keep reading into this energy, but this is going to be for a small portion of you. I'm going to read it because my guides are pushing me to, but I'm not liking what I see here. And it's, again, we're kind of looking at advice, right? So we're talking about these creative process. So, all right, I'm just going to tell you, we got the Sun in reverse, we got the Tower in reverse, we got the Fool in reverse, we got the Emperor in reverse, and the only good card in reverse here is the Five of Swords in reverse. And let me tell you, I pre-shuffle and cleanse all my decks, not only after each reading I do, but also before the next reading. And I do set intentions that all messages are for the highest and greatest good and the highest and greatest good of all, and that they reach who they're meant to. So if you're hearing this, you're meant to hear it. Sometimes you got to read between the lines and look at the synchronicities around the matter of a subject using your high priestess gifts, using your intuition, in order to be able to see the message that is for you, right? But the Sun in reverse, and this is about unhappiness, about not being seen, about not being recognized. It's possible whatever tower you had in your awakening, whatever huge change, most likely a force change, has made you realize what you don't want to create anymore, what you don't want to spend your time on. Maybe some of you feel like you're running out of time in some sense, like you don't have the ability to have a new beginning here with the Fool in reverse. Some of you, this is very small, select few of you, but some of you feel like you have no authority in your life with the Emperor in reverse. And that can kind of tie back into the Eight of Swords card earlier, where there seems to be a mental prison that you're keeping yourself in. And it's like not seeing the circumstances for what they really are. It's having a blindfold on, being bound but having free feet, having a cage of swords around you, but there's an opening. All you have to do is feel your way out of it, right? Hence the blindfold, using your intuition. Again, the High Priestess reference here. So for some of you, this is all an illusion. Again, with the Hanged One, that's Pisces, that's Neptune energy, right? The modern day ruler of Pisces is Neptune. The previous was Jupiter, okay? So going from modern astrology, some of you have been in this illusion that you can't be happy, that chaos will always ensue, that you're never going to have a new beginning, that you have no control over your destiny, and this has sabotaged you a lot in the past. So Spirit's telling you to stop focusing on those beliefs. Again, this could go back to that Queen of Swords and Queen of Wands in reverse cards. Both of them could represent two different feminine figures in your life. One of them that was more intellectual and cold, and one of them that was more angry and fierce, okay? And they could also be previous representations of yourself. Again, it doesn't matter what you identify with, different energies come into our lives at different times. And I talk a lot about, in my advocacy, overcoming trauma. And I wasn't going to use that word because I don't want to get dinged yet again. But I believe that, again, these messages will end up where they're supposed to go. So, you know, when we get lost in cycles and we end up on loops, a lot of them are old wounds that we need to heal in order to be able to feel successful and confident within ourselves, to be happy, to go after the things we care about. And it is about perspective changes and coming out of illusions. And if somebody has gaslit you in your life, has made you feel like you're not good enough or you don't deserve, first of all, stop listening to those people. If you're part of the community that is still engaging with these characters, it does seem that you need a plan to get out and move on. Like Spirit's telling you very clearly, it's time to move on. We had the Chariot card. We had multiple forward-moving new adventures. You're on a quest. Like, just get it. Like, again, the Knight of Wands earlier, that's double fire. That's also the card of Sagittarius. So that is the adventurer. That is somebody who travels long distances and pursues spiritual quests and also overcomes any battle. They're on their way to queendom or kingdom. And right before that is the emperor, or right after that, excuse me, the king is before the emperor, right? And the emperor here is the ultimate authority of your own domain, right? So having the final say in your life, no longer letting other people sabotage you or mess with your thoughts. For some of you, those of you that are on a spiritual path, you may have some idea of psychic attacks, of spiritual warfare, and some of you know how to protect yourselves. And again, if this doesn't apply to you, it's not for you, don't take it, and it's not personal, but I'm trying to cover multiple groups in the collective here, right? If you want a more personal reading, please book with me. Description box has everything you could possibly want. Anyways, so I am in some aspects the Queen of Wands upright. I do fight for other people. That's why I consider myself an advocate, and it's because I come from experience. I've overcome and I've learned how to have the courage within myself in order to lead others, okay? And it seems like for some of you, this spiritual quest, this new creative journey, this discovering your inner child, it's a slow process, but it's totally possible for you. Again, we talked about transmuting, we talked about creativity, and sometimes the simple act of creating is what brings you to that happier state. When you've done something for the simple joy of it, you can see things beyond that simple act. You can see the deeper meaning with gratitude, with appreciation. All right, Spirit, let's pull some more cards. I think they get it. Whoa, hello, stomach. Sorry if you heard that growling. Some of you are very hungry for this new beginning. And 7 of air in reverse, so that's 7 of swords in reverse. So usually Seven of Swords is known as like the ghosting card, or it's like somebody stealing something or trying to take something from you. And I think this is further emphasizing that nobody's going to take your new beginning. It happens to be right on top of the Fool card, which is new beginnings, right? And also to stop focusing so hard on strategy, right? You need to feel into it, not think on it. Because again, your thoughts can end up in a cycle. I can't remember which reading it was. It was sometime in May or the end of April. We talked about cycles and how you can tell the difference between intrusive thoughts and your intuition. And we talked about how you know it's your intuition because it'll only come up once. You'll feel it in your gut or your heart space. You'll know it to be true deep down. And your mind will try to argue with that. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't use discernment in our intelligence. That's not what I'm saying at all. We're talking about the King of Cups energy here, where we use our wise mind, where we can keep a balance between the different parts of our brain, right? And when you can control your nervous system and come out of these harmful relationships and situations and feel calm and balanced and find harmony within yourself, you can move towards things that you're passionate about. You can develop deeper bonds with people and have stronger, more successful unions like the King and Queen of Pentacles we saw earlier, right? For some of you, that's what it's about, is building that dream life with somebody or within yourself. For some of you, you've already done that, and now you're looking to start over in life, looking to be on your own new journey, but you've got a lot of baggage you need to process and heal, and part of the spiritual quest is also part of the emotional quest, right? It is about the soul. And then we got the Hermit in reverse. So yeah, coming out of Hermit mode, because remember, sometimes we keep ourselves hidden away from the world. And if you want to shine your light, not just shine your light for others, but shine for yourself, because we got the Sun in reverse twice. If you want to be happy and you want to be seen for what makes you happy, you have to allow yourself to be seen. This is a lesson I myself have had to learn, okay? I had a legit hermit's journey in the past few years, and I've talked about that. I've got a very intense, passionate audio documentary I shared called Where the Wilderness Meets the Woo-Woo. I think I've got it linked still in the description box at the very end. It's got a trigger warning on it because it's very passionate, and I use a lot of vulgar language to express my journey, so it's not for everyone. And then I just pulled the Seven of Cups. Yeah, don't be confused here, or someone's confused. The Temperance card in reverse. Someone's very confused and being thrown off balance. Again, for those of you, I think I was starting to say, that might be spiritual practitioners, it's possible that someone has intentionally done works against you, and we've talked about that in other readings. And then I just pulled the Lover's card in reverse. So yeah, that to me just confirmed that a past union is still knocking you out of balance. It's making you confused. It's making it hard for you to focus on what fills your cup, what's important. Maybe you're actually getting really way too lost in fantasies and the idea of something instead of actually taking action on it. And the traditional Temperance card is an archangel, and it's an archangel who's got one toe dipped in water and one on land. It's very similar to the Star card in that sense of healing and balance and transmuting energy as well. So again, the creativity here. If you're feeling confused by your emotions, or you're having a hard time taking action, for some of you it's about the mental process. Wow, and then the Six of Air, or Six of Swords, just came flying out upright. We just transmuted something, everyone. Because earlier we had the Six of Swords in reverse, and now it's upright, and we also got the High of Air, so that's the Page of Swords. with the Curandera of Water in reverse, which we previously had talked about spiritual protection. That is a card of spiritual baths with this deck. And then the Eight of Wands in reverse. Spirit has some strong messages suddenly coming through for somebody. It's a little intense, Spirit. Okay. Move to calmer waters by observing ways that you have not been able to give your love or communicate your passions. That's for somebody with Six of Swords, Page of Swords, King of Cups in reverse, Eight of Wands in reverse, right? Because Eight of Wands is typically moving towards something very quickly, communicating, traveling, relocating, and just like really charging towards something you're very passionate about. In reverse, it means not doing that. And then we pulled the Nine of Swords upright. For some of you, somebody has been trying to sabotage you and keep you in your head. I'm just going to say it. The Nine of Swords underneath the Five of Swords in reverse. Someone is still trying to block you from moving forward on something, to offering your cup. They're keeping you stuck in your head, and you know, you've got peace available to you. You have a way to communicate here. You have a way to express yourself. So for some of you, you really need to focus on spiritual healing and setting strong boundaries, not just like with your words and your actions, but spiritually creating protective boundaries. Again, I have a pagan perspective, and this has been coming up in my readings a lot, and I feel Spirit coming through me very strongly right now, very sternly saying, this is not a joke for some of you. Some of you are meant for higher purposes. Some of you are highly psychic, which means you are more in tune with energies around you. And if there are other people, and unfortunately it's usually people who don't actually know anything about the craft, who don't actually know anything about intentions, who are working from their shadow to cast problems upon you because they find it entertaining to mess with people's lives. Some people will take it to that next level. And when you're a new spiritual practitioner, you learn very quickly how to put up energetic boundaries and blocks, and how to protect yourself, and how to surround yourself with love and light. So I think for some of us, we're going to do something real quick. If you don't want to be a part of this, I thank you so much. Again, feel free to hit the like button. If you would like to receive the shorter form versions of these videos in the future and the side messages, I will put all the links in the comments of this video's community post in the community section on my channel. Okay? Thank you so much for being a part of it. And again, if you're just curious and you're listening, cool. That's awesome too. Leave a little, I don't know, broom emoji if you're a fellow practitioner, or something witchy. I don't know, surprise me. It does help the channel. And now we have the Six of Pentacles again, equal give and take. Yeah, okay, so let's restore some balance here. I'm gonna do something different. Let's clear the energy real quick with the spell. 3, 2, 1. One more time. Third time's the charm. Wow, yeah, there's some I can offer guidance for spiritual healing if you are interested. If you are a friend or acquaintance of mine, definitely reach out, and this is a service I provide. My community that is interpersonally engaged with me. I do not do in-person healings, but I might be able to give you some guidance, because for someone in the collective that has been a part of these readings, there's something attached to you. I'm just going to say it. And this is why I had to disclaim that this was going to go a layer deeper. I can't tell you what's attached to you. I don't want to read into it that much. But if you do believe in these things and you do work with these things, it's either somebody you need to cut a cord with energetically, And some of you, someone's actually trying to put, how do I say this, an entity upon you to mess with your blessings, to keep you off your path. And I'm quite aware of some of the energies for some of you are also listening to this video. And I'm going to let you know that you are hereby banished and cut off from my energy and anyone you are choosing to do harm for. Or through, for. Oh, some of you are working for others. Yeah, I'm just letting you know right now, I'm not okay with hiring practitioners to curse or hex other people. That's not my jam. I work in the light. I help people heal and transmute and rise above. Because you know, that's the thing. If you focus on your creativity here, if you focus on what gives you love, if you don't let other people manipulate your thoughts or let the past manipulate you, you work on your healing and you move forward, you take action, eventually you will rise above these energies. And I don't mean that you'll be better than them, though. If they're trying to cause harm, then of course naturally healing is going to make you better than them. We'll just be blunt here, right? But for those of you that are not trying to cause any problems, you're just trying to enjoy life, remember that you still need to protect yourself. And some of you are fierce protectors of other people, but you aren't for yourself. And you got to remember, if you deserve that reciprocation, again here with the Six of Pentacles, second time this has come up, about equal give and take, about generosity, right? It's all an even exchange, the law of equivalent exchange. You're working towards something great here. For some of you, it's about a deeper, stable union with somebody, with a business partner, with your life path, with your spirituality, with your work, with your own independence. We've got 4 or 5 different groups here. Some of you are also guides who are helping other people through this, and you're looking for ways to, you know, find new creative ways to express in your community, to shine your own lights, but not, you know, overshadow others. I'm going to pull some more cards here. I think that's as far as I'm going to go into the woo-woo on this particular part. Again, my business tagline is from the mundane to the mystical, or mystical to the mundane, whatever. We just pulled the 8 of Cups in reverse. Spirit is speeding up here, and the 9 of Cups. So, in reverse. Something you walked away from is going to try to come back, but it is not wish fulfillment for you. In fact, it's the devil. Yay! I don't mean to laugh, but that was so on point with exactly what we're talking about. And no, we're not talking about the devil being witchcraft. If you have that opinion, I mean, it's cool that you're still listening, but I don't understand. But that's okay. I don't need to understand everything. Maybe you're just curious. But I break stigmas, so just so you know. The devil is about temptation. It's about things that are not good for you. I usually read a more positive version of this card, like it being the card of mastery, the positive side to Capricorn, which it rules. But with this connotation, it's, yeah, someone from the past is either trying to mess with your personal wish fulfillment through nefarious ways, or someone nefarious from your past that you used to think was wish fulfillment is going to try to boomerang back into your life. So be ready, be warned, and remember what we said. Use your discernment, keep yourself emotionally regulated, and keep moving forward. Yeah, the 2 of Wands card here. This is a choice on your path, okay? You know you want to move forward quickly towards something. We had the Chariot, we had the Knight of Wands, right? So this is a choice. Do you want to keep repeating cycles? Do you really believe that you are not worth having your dreams come true? If so, you got to ask yourself, instead of repeating these thoughts over and over in your head, ask yourself, where did these thoughts come from? And again, this is where working with a medical professional would be really useful. Talk therapy. You don't have to get on medication. You don't have to do any of that. Again, this is not medical advice. It's advocacy, okay? for those of you that are part of the more anxious part of the community, you know that you have to learn how to regulate your thoughts, which will help you regulate your emotions. And that doesn't mean that you're controlling anything. It means that you're in balance, you're in harmony with yourself. So you can make these decisions, because people who are survivors of trauma, especially from childhood, have these family system behavioral patterns ingrained in them, and that's totally changeable. It doesn't make you broken. If you have trauma and these cycles and these patterns, you can actually free yourself. And earlier we had the liberation card, right? That's what you're moving towards. Anybody in this collective, not this collective, in the collective can move towards liberty and freedom. Anybody can have that. It's a choice here. What do you want to manifest? What do you want to manifest? Are you going to let somebody make you feel like you're miserable? Whatever way they have an impact on your life. And for some of you, this is family. For some of you, this is family, okay? And I'm not talking about necessarily marriage, but like blood family, or, you know, social family, or close friends that are like family. For some of you, it's also soul family. It's about finding your true soul family. And maybe your spiritual quest or a new union or going off on your own for a while is exactly what you need to find that. I mean, the Knight of Wands is that quest, that higher learning, that expansion. And here we had the Three of Wands earlier as well, which was about waiting for your ships to come in, but also already having set intentions. So this is about setting new intentions now. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks or feels about your personal wish fulfillment, because it isn't for them. And if they think it's for them, then you got to question why they're in your life. And again, with the whole family thing, look, I'm biased. I have my own story, which I've told, and I've had to make some very hard decisions in my life in order to find my happiness and my personal wish fulfillment and to pursue my spiritual path, okay? I come from a background of a Christian family, and I was never allowed to explore my gifts. Could you imagine being a psychic medium empath who was drawn to paganism and the occult since childhood and had essentially been gaslit their whole lives into believing that what they were, not just on the spiritual side, but life in general, was not their reality? So I know something about this, okay? I know something about this. I'm a part of the collective, and I find my own synchronicities and messages through my readings, because when I'm channeling, it's spirit speaking through me, and they encourage me to bring up certain personal things about my life so I can guide others. Because again, a good guide is somebody who has the wisdom of the experience, who can help navigate others through their dark nights, through their spiritual journeys, okay? And that's what I'm here to do. I'm not, while I do appreciate being able to earn a living based on my gifts, which, by the way, if this hits your heart space, feel free to donate or tip to me. The description box has my Venmo and PayPal links. I really, really appreciate it. So anyways, most of my work here is of service. Okay, so the Haya of Fire just came out. So again, that's the Page of Wands like we were talking about earlier. I feel like some of you are getting worked up. I'm going to take a deep breath here. I suggest you do the same. So I think it's interesting that Break the Chain, or The Chain by Fleetwood Mac, this is a cover of it. It's an excellent cover, but came up as we're talking about family, right? Some of you are generational curse breakers. Some of you are truth speakers. Some of you are meant to not continue the family system dynamics. And that's why you're going through your journey, because your soul decided to go through this journey. And it requires a lot of courage and bravery. And sometimes it requires walking away from people, not only that aren't good for us, but people we love as well. And I'm not encouraging anybody to walk away from their families, okay? That is not at all what I'm saying. Okay? But what I'm saying is that for some of us in the collective, we have to lead by example. And this Two of Wands with the Page of Wands, this is about choosing your new beginning. You may feel like you don't know how to proceed, and that's normal with anything new, right? But again, the positive side of the Devil card over here is that when you put the work in and day out consistently, you can build a life for yourself. You can master something by being consistent with your choices. And that also applies to the negative side of things, right? If you continue to pour into things that you know are not making you happy, you are creating more things to be unhappy about. But if you make the brave choice to pour into things that do make you happy, that make you feel better, and you start to feel free again, and you start to feel like you can breathe, it makes you want to create more of that. And then you see your life transform. And then all of a sudden you start waking up, and instead of dreading what you have to do, for those of you going through a dark night will know what I'm talking about, you will start to wake up and be like, oh wow, I get to do all these things today. And you'll be excited about life. And you're going to be that obnoxious, positive person in your friend group, but that's also going to signal to you who you're vibing out of your existence. Because as you do work on yourself, your frequency does change, and you stop aligning with toxic people of the past. Naturally. Some of you haven't quite crossed that threshold yet. And I'm telling you, it's okay to choose you. It's okay to choose you. Also, if you've been with a toxic person or an unhealed person, whatever you want to call it, and you are trying to move away from that, you're not a bad person. And anybody who tries to mess with your thoughts and mess with your actions or try to get you to second guess things, do not have your best interest at heart. You think they're thinking about the choice of you? You think any of that, whether they're a friend, whether they're a partner? I'm starting to feel really fired up about this, so I gotta get out this energy. Yeah, we just pulled the Nine of Pentacles card. That is the independence card. If you want to be independent, you have to think independently. You have to gain a higher perspective with the High Priestess like we had, right? You have the ability to be stable here. Remember, we had the Four of Pentacles, so you already have some kind of foundation as far as your material world. That could also mean you have some kind of foundation in your community. And it's possible that's one of the reasons why it's difficult for some of you to move on from a community, because it's all you've ever known. But if you want something different in your life, you have to start accepting change and moving towards it. And there's the Five of Pentacles. I mentioned earlier that I was glad we didn't see that. You have to come out of a lack mentality. I'm actually glad that it came here. From the Nine of Pentacles to the Five of Pentacles. So in order to find your independence, you really must focus on where you felt like you lack, why you feel like you lack there, and ask yourself, is it true? Or is this everything that everybody has told me about? Look at your actions. And if you don't align with your actions, figure out how you can align with your actions. For some of you, this is about feeling like you're out in the cold, like you're not a part of a group, like you don't have enough, whether that's emotional fulfillment, intellectual stimulation, spiritual connection, deep loving relationships, or the feeling of stability within yourself. I think that pretty much covers everyone here that we have been talking about today. Again, I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. One of my life theme songs has come on, Angel by Massive Attack. Yes, that is one of my favorite songs of all time. I'm so glad. It's one of my deep synchronicities. I don't know why I needed to mention that, but yeah, I just pulled the Queen of Pentacles. So here we are back full circle to the Queen of Pentacles, to the stable, nurturing, receptive, energy, who has all comforts in life, who has something to offer, including that equal give and take. For some of you, this is a person you want to move towards that makes you feel stable, that doesn't make you feel lack, that actually makes you feel quite abundant, and they have a lot to offer you. I just picked that up for some of you. Wow, the Star. This is somebody you can have profound healing with, or somebody you highly value. Wow, Eight of Swords. Interesting. You've really been caught up in your head about this person or this aspect of yourself that you need to heal. What advice can we give the collective about this, Spirit? This seems like a side message. Ace of Cups. Ooh, I just got chills. Offer your cup of love, or Spirit's offering you a new start in love or creativity. It's telling you to stop telling yourself that you don't deserve love, that you don't deserve to heal, that you don't deserve a stable relationship. For some of you, that's very, very true here with the 4 cards here, the Star, 8 of Swords, Ace of Cups, and Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, and the Magician just came out. So you have the ability to manifest your reality. You have everything you need to live the life of your dreams. You just have to believe it, and you have to accept it. You have to accept love in order to have it, in order to create more of it, right? How can you create more love in your life? And again, I talked about transmuting through creativity, right? King of Wands in reverse. Curandera of Fire. For some of you, you're afraid to be brash. You're afraid that you might be too bold or come across as arrogant, or angry and impulsive, not a good leader. Some of you are very down on yourself and don't believe that you have the right to lead. That's for a very small select few of you. Some of you are just learning how to be more courageous about your magic, about what you can create, and understanding that you do have the power to direct your own life, to lead your own life. And we just pulled the 6 of Cups. Now, if you remember at the beginning of the reading, we had the 6 of Cups in reverse, and that was about somebody or some kind of connection from the past. So there's another deep love here that you can find either within yourself or others. I'm going to say with others because the 6 of Cups is kind of like a sense of family. So maybe it's time to find your spiritual family, especially with the King of Wands in reverse. The Wands cards are magic. They are manifestors. They are leaders and spiritual guides in their own way. They're also fighters, and they create. For some of you, this could be about finding a sense of community with your spirituality. And it doesn't have to be pagan. It doesn't have to be any of those things. It could be with a church. It could be with, heck, it could be with like people who do yoga together. Yoga is very spiritual. It could just be something that makes you feel spiritual. Maybe being in nature. This 6 of Cups card is it's this beautiful lace tablecloth with what looks like, this might be lilac blossoms, I'm not sure. It's just this beautiful setting, and on a lakeside. Sorry, I got distracted. My teenager just got home early from school. Last day of school. Woo! Anyways, I'm going to have to cut this short soon. And it's probably not short. We've probably been going for over an hour. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Okay, so this beautiful setting here, it's this beautiful lake beyond, and it looks like a bright, beautiful day, and there's multiple cups here. And it just looks like a nice afternoon that could be set to spend quality time with friends. And the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, this tells me that maybe you haven't felt very fortunate in relationships in the past, especially with your friend groups or family. Maybe there's some kind of group activity you can do to balance the scales, so to speak. Because if you're feeling like you don't have your fortune, it isn't true, because earlier we pulled the Wheel of Fortune upright, that you were working towards that. Whoops. Wow. Anyways, y'all, I gotta go. And I apologize for the interruption at the end there. I don't usually have to cut these readings short like that. But, yep, gotta go be a mom now. So, yeah, if you have any questions or want more clarity, we just pulled the Ten of Pentacles. You can find your stability and your security through these groups of friends. Okay, you can create generational wealth here for yourself if you can get yourself on path. You can create a better life for yourself if you can learn to focus on what fills your cup. And whatever you're moving towards, it's going to be successful, whether it's a person, it's your own independent path, it's your psychic spiritual gifts. You can do this. You've got it within you. And if you need further guidance, please reach out. I'd be happy to book with you. I've got a booking site, and I also have my email. I even have a business phone number that you can find. And yeah, I'd love to work with you. So thank you so much for joining. Again, I hope you have a beautiful day or night whenever you're catching this. And I wish you all the best. Many blessings. This is Ellie, signing off.